Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Matt here from Chill TCG. Today we're going to be taking a look at the championship winning deck list from Chill Series number 29. It was a 450 player tournament. It was a great turnout. As you can see, Pikarom was the winning list. It was piloted by Kalamat, who went on a fantastic run throughout the tournament. Went a perfect 6-0 in top 8. So 2-0'd every single one of his opponents, all three of them. I kind of forget the matchups. I know he won a Peak Mirror. I believe he beat E-Turn as well, and then I think he played ADP in finals. He actually might have played Mewtwo in top 4. I really do forget, and I apologize, Adam, but, you know, big congratulations to him for making finals. And, of course, a big tournament. I mean, 450 players. This is post-Battle Styles, but Pikarom, it's back on top. Honestly, you know, what it kind of seems like right now with the format is that Urshifu did kind of jump onto the scene. Everyone did realize that it was a really good deck. But quickly, people started playing decks to counter, you know, all of the Urshifus. And Urshifu was tied for the most played deck in our tournament with 450 players. 61 people, 13% about of the meta share playing Urshifu. So just kind of surprising that Peak did come out on top. But not many Urshifus kind of made that day, or that phase 2, top 16, top 32 threshold. And a lot of Mewtwo's made it up there. Pikarom, pretty good Mewtwo matchup for most of those Mewtwo decks. Also really good matchup against a lot of Welder lists. And for that reason, I think that Pikarom was a really good choice. And of course, just had a really good outing. And Adam played it really well. This is his list. Quickly to go over, I mean, it's a pretty normal Pikarom list. There's nothing too crazy that stands out here. A couple things I do want to mention. We're not running a Mew in the list. Some Pikaroms are running Mew these days. You know, we're not here on Adam's list. He's running 3 Boltund. Some people play 4 and their Pikarom right now. Can be good in a best-of-1 format to kind of increase your odds, of course, of starting with Boltund, which is really important. But I think that 3 is kind of standard and should be pretty much fine. Everything else here, pretty much normal. We got the 4 hammers, and what you'll notice is we don't actually have like another tech on top of the 4 hammers. Sometimes people are going to be running a Yell Grunt on top of those hammers. Some people are going to be running a Fan of Waves. We're not. We're just running the straight 4 hammers here. But we are running, of course, 2 reset stamps, Chaotic Swell, 4 Marnie, 4 Research, 3 Boss. So it's going to be very disruptive, along with those hammers where we're going to be disrupting our opponent's hand. Chaotic Swell is really good for Welder decks. And it's just going to be a really good, you know, way to kind of disrupt our opponent overall. 13 energies, again, kind of standard, 10 basic, 3 speed. We definitely want the basics because it works with Tapu Koko Prism Star, works with Boltund, works with Full Blitz. So, you know, the basics are really important, but we do have room for more. So the speed energies, that's going to help us draw more cards here. Now for the tool card lineup, this is pretty important. A lot of people in the past, at least in past formats, you would run maybe a couple Big Charms, a couple Air Balloons, and that was really good. But right now with Urshifus being so common in the format, of course, a list that you can struggle with, because a lot of times they do kind of overly prepare for this matchup with Giratinas, Mimikyus, things like that. We're running Stealthy Hoods. Stealthy Hood is a really good counter to Giratina, Zigzagoon, Urshifu, or not Urshifu, Mimikyu, things like that. Things that are really difficult in most Mewtwo decks, but overall, just really good things that Urshifu runs to win this matchup. Stealthy Hood kind of protects our Mewtwo's from that. Of course, you know, the Urshifu matchup, it's not going to be fantastic if we start with like a Peak in the active. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for us, but as long as we're able to discard a Peak and Raichu, keep them out of our board, and just kind of play with the Mewtwo's and get that Electrify off, we should be in a pretty decent position, to be 100% honest with you. I think that 1 Big Charm is still needed, but I do value Air Balloon and that switching capability over kind of the Big Charm. But it's going to be really useful, the Big Charm in ADP as well as Urshifu. But overall, Stealthy Hood seems to be the best card to be playing in terms of, you know, the tool cards. So we're playing 5 tool cards in total. 2 Cherish Balls. Some people are playing 1 on top of the 4 Quick Ball and an E-Radar. I think that the consistency is really good here to run 2 Cherish Balls. So here it is. Here's the list. Yeah, I mean, not much I can really say. It's Pikarom. We're going to get into some games. We're going to play it. We're going to showcase the deck a little bit, see if we can't do anything, you know, to show you guys how good the list can potentially be. Now, personally, actually, I've kind of just started playing Players Cup. I've only about played 5 keys so far. But on a really good pace right now, actually, to be 100% honest with you, with Pikarom, and this is the list that we're playing. Practically, it's extremely similar. But I think that Pikarom is a fantastic Players' Cup choice right now. It's super consistent, and in a best-of-1 format, it definitely can perform very, very well. If you're not interested in, or if you're interested in watching more gameplay, specifically Adam actually playing this list in the Grand Finals match of our 450 player tournament, you can watch the Grand Finals match. I posted it on YouTube a couple days ago. Annotation's going to be up here, right there. Click that little thing, that little eye up there in the top right, and you're going to be able to go and just link right to the grand finals match. It was a great set. Pikarom versus ADP. I highly recommend you go check it out. All right, let's get into some gameplay, guys. Let's play some games, and let's see what this Pikarom list can really do. All right, let's get right into it. I'm pretty excited. I love playing Peak. It's in my opinion, one of the most fun decks to play, and definitely in a really, really impressive deck list. It's got a really good matchup spread. I know, obviously, it struggles with Urshifu, or it can at least, but we're taking extra precautions for that. And for the most part, you know, we just really love to go second, preferably. Pikarom likes to go second. We like to get that Electrify off. It looks like we're going first, so I don't know if we're playing another Peak or ADP or a Welder deck. But we are starting with Boltund, which is good, and we actually do have Koko and a Speed Energy. We're not going to want to attach to Boltund since we're not actually electrifying this turn, so we're probably just going to want to go ahead and attach to either Mewtwo or Pikarom, something like that. You know, I have some experience with Pikarom, so I shouldn't play terribly, but, you know, I can't promise I won't misplay slightly. But let's get into it. For those of you who don't know Pikarom, it's all about accelerating energies really quickly as possible, and kind of just outpacing your opponent, right? And we want to full blitz as early as possible. That's really the key to this this deck. He's starting with the Dedenne, so we don't really have a read on what he's playing, but we definitely, what we want to do, and we'll just put the Swell here in the active. I think we want to Quick Ball away this Boltund. We don't really have a reason to you know, keep a second one since, well, actually, we did prize one, so maybe we should have kept that one around, but we had to check our prize cards at some point. We have our Choo-Choo, we have both of our Mewtwo's, and we have both of our Pikaroms. Now, I think what I want to do we have any draw cards in our hand? We don't have any way to draw cards, but we are going to be drawing the speed here. I don't know what we're playing against, to be 100% honest with you, so I think what I want to do is save that second Quick Ball for next turn. We're just going to go straight up and grab a Mewtwo. And what we're going to do here is we're going to attach the speed to it, which isn't ideal because we're not drawing extra cards. But we do want to get an attachment on Mewtwo so that we can electrify next turn. And this Boltund should be pretty safe no matter what we're playing against. So that's fine. Again, you can attach a speed to like a non-electric type Pokemon. It still counts as an electric type energy. It just doesn't draw you the extra 2 cards. But I still think attaching to the Mewtwo there was preferable over just attaching to Boltund to draw 2 cards personally. It looks like we are playing the Peak Mirror, and he's going to be going second and electrifying. That's not great for us, especially if he hits a hammer on us this turn. There's really not much that we can do. Pikarom going second and getting the Electrify is going to be the best thing that they can do in the matchup here. And we're going to see an E-Radar. He is starting with Dedenne, which should be pretty good for us. He probably only runs 2 in his deck. He discards a Lightning Energy and a Research. So he probably is going to be grabbing another Dedenne, as well as perhaps something to Electrify too, which would make a lot of sense here. If I knew that this was a Peak Mirror, I probably would not have put down Mewtwo, to be 100% honest with you. And only because, you know, it just makes things a little bit more difficult here in the matchup if he puts that down his own Mewtwo and he KOs us, right? But since we're already kind of going with that route, I think we have to just go ahead and do it. But he's going to grab Peak and he's going to grab Dedenne. So I wonder if he actually is going to discard this Pikarom or if he's going to bench it. So he goes ahead and benches it, which is fine, I think. And he's going to have the Switch card in hand, and he's going to be able to Dedenne for a fresh 6 cards. And he's going to go ahead and end his turn on Electrify. So a really good turn for this guy here. He's doing exactly what we wish we could have done. But of course, he won the coin flip. It's best of 1. It is what it is. But unfortunately, we're going to play it out. He does get the 2 basic energies in the discard as well, while quick balling for Koko. So practically a pretty perfect turn for this guy here, especially if he benches something else to Koko 2 as well. He's going to get 3 energies on that Pikarom this turn, so we're practically just a turn behind because we're going to want to electrify this turn. So not ideal for us, realistically, but you know what? It is what it is. And if we're not able to showcase exactly what Pikarom can do, at least our opponent is doing that. Yeah, coin flips, the winning the coin flip going second is extremely good. It's really crucial. He actually just chooses to attach to the Dedenne, which is interesting, but getting the energy on board, at least, is really good because it still adds damage to the potential Bolt Storm attack. He's actually just going to boss up the Mewtwo here, which is interesting. But not a bad play because we have to find a way to switch back into Boltund, right? That's actually like what we have to do at this point. We'll see what we top deck. He's going to go ahead and accelerate to his Pikarom. It could be good if we hit a couple hammers this turn and force him to electrify again. We top deck another Quick Ball, which is really interesting. But I think what our best play here is, I don't know if I want to. I'll probably end up discarding Boss. To be honest with you, I just don't want to. I just don't want to burn it and kind of defensively Boss. He's got 3 cards in his hand, so I don't know what that is or what cards those are. To be honest, maybe it would be good to Boss into this Dedenne and kind of force him to draw into a switch since he is down a switch. But with 3 cards in his hand, I don't know if that's actually the correct play. But so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to quick ball away the boss. We're going to grab something that we can discard. And now I think that our best option at this point is to grab Peak, because we're going to have to Full Blitz. That's really just the only thing that I can think of right now. We can't bench Koko, and we're going to discard the Peak Rum because Mewtwo can use the attacks here. And we're going to grab Crobat, and we're going to be able to draw some cards here. I think if we can avoid benching Dedenne, we should actually have kind of an advantage in this matchup, I think. We don't draw to a switch card, but what we can do is just speed to Boltund here. Still no switch card, but we can Crushing Hammers here. We whiff. Unfortunately, we don't really want a Marnie, so it looks like we actually are just going to be Cherish Balling for Dedenne, and we're going to discard this hand and hopefully draw into a way to switch out. We do have 2 Air Balloons in the deck and 4 switch still. When I Cherish Ball here, I guess I'm going to search, so we have all of our switch cards and all of our Air Balloons. And I think that we just prize maybe 1 speed energy and 1 basic. And what else? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're going to just pitch this hand away. Marnie is good. So, I mean, it stinks that we are just having to put a Dedenne down here because that is a potential Full Blitz candidate. We do draw the switch, so that's something to keep in mind. We only have 1 energy in the discard pile, so I don't really want to pop Koko yet. You know, we could have tried to just get the energies on Mewtwo this turn and then Full Blitz from there. But I don't think that that's going to be the best thing that we can do here. We could bench a second Mewtwo here. But I don't know if that's also the best option for us. So I think what I'm going to do is switch into Boltund here. And unfortunately, I think what we're going to do here is I think we actually are going to bench Mewtwo, and we're probably going to split the energies between them in case we get bossed up and he attacks us. I think that that's probably our best decision. But what he's probably going to do is he's going to want to Full Blitz this turn, which puts us in a pretty difficult situation. Hopefully he doesn't have a good hand, right? I guess is what we're hoping for here. We're going to Electrify. We're going to grab 2 basics. We're going to put 1 into this Mewtwo, so he has 2, and then we're going to split it over to the other Mewtwo. We're not running Tag Switch in the deck. Excuse me. But what this at least allows us to do is we have the option to Koko, and after we do that, we just have the option to manually attach to either of our Mewtwo's and use them next turn. Should kind of give us somewhat of an advantage here. I don't know if he's going to be able to utilize Choo-Choo and get that attack off. That could be really good for us, especially if he burns another switch this turn. But I assume he's running 2 Air Balloons as well. We kind of just want to avoid him taking prize cards and potentially just kind of getting out of hand at this point. But we'll see. I think, well, he's got 5 energies on board. Boltund is doing 160 right now, so even if he just manually attached, he's doing 190. So we're actually just safe from a Bolt Storm KO, at least on our Boltund. So we are going to see a switch into the Peak here, and that's his second switch down. We're probably just going to see a Full Blitz, which, to be honest with you, isn't that terrible for us. Really, it's not that bad at all. He does just attach to the Boltund. Okay. Yeah, we're going to see the Full Blitz here. He doesn't really have a great target other than just directly to the Peak, which is fine because we should be able to paralyze it, and then he's going to kind of be forced to double switch, and he's already down 2 switch cards, right? So this is a really good thing for him to do here. He's forcing the Tag Bolt out, which is really smart on his part, I think. Okay, so we top decked Air Balloon. That's fine. We're going to be able to free retreat into Mewtwo here. We're definitely going to want a Tandem Shock to kind of negate the possibility. It's going to be really tough because I don't actually want a Marnie here, to be 100% honest with you. And but I feel because he only has 2 cards in his hand. But that might be the best decision. You know, I think we actually want to play it smart. I don't think we want to give him more cards. And I think that potentially whiffing attachment this turn and just Kokoing to the Mewtwo, retreating in and Tandem Shocking might be our best play. Just to hope that he doesn't have a switch out. Because again, if he gets Full Blitz off next turn, we probably just lose, right? So we have to paralyze. So we're going to pop the Koko just for 1, which isn't great for us, realistically. It would be really nice to top deck an energy that turn. But now we're going to switch into Mewtwo. And we actually have a bench space open now if we wanted Dedenne yet again. And I don't know if that's not a bad play because that actually might be a pretty good play for us. So we're just going to do that. And I'm going to quick ball away Stealthy Hood. Just because we're going to thin out the card here. And now we are going to Dedenne. Kind of sketchy, but we shouldn't need anything else on our board this turn. There are the energies, but we actually do find a hammer, which is pretty good. We're going to attach to yeah, we're going to attach to this Mewtwo, and we're going to throw out the hammer here. We do hit it, so now we're going to hit it off the active, and again, we're going to go ahead and hit him with the Tandem Shock. And this is going to do 160, but it's going to paralyze him, and he's down in energy. So what he needs here is a way to switch out, switch back in, and attach an energy. And even if he does that, he should, unless he has boss as well, should only be taking 2 prize cards at the most this turn. So we're not in a terrible position, but he is a little bit ahead on energies right now. So if he kind of whiffs this turn and he doesn't have much, we're in a really good spot. And that's kind of the benefit of us going the Mewtwo route, because we're able to use Tandem Shock, get the paralysis out. But unfortunately, he's not, right? Because he doesn't have Mewtwo, he doesn't have Choo-Choo on his bench or in his discard pile, so we should be in a pretty decent position, I think. But we'll see. He's down to Switch. Air Balloon could be an option for him, but the thing is here, he needs a Switch, and then he has just to manually retreat back into Mewtwo. So that's a pass, right? So that's huge for us. That is phenomenal for us. Probably the best thing that could have happened, and might actually just be the reason that we win the game. Yeah, so there it is. I think we played it kind of correctly. It was a bit unfortunate for him. He did kind of get the ideal start where we didn't. But I think that we made the right decisions there. And I think that we got a little bit lucky with that paralysis. So one thing that is important to note, and one thing that everyone probably might realize at this point, is that Pikarom can always win. There's no time in the game where you can't do something to stop your opponent. We're going to hop into one more. It's probably just like the one deck where you can never count it out. I mean, between just the paralysis, the surprise tag bolts, Boltund one-shot KOing, there's just a lot of things that Pete can do mid to late game that can really kind of allow it to win a lot of games. Okay, so we won the coin flip here, which means we are going to get to go second this game, which is preferable. We're going to mulligan, though, even though we have like 13 basic Pokemon in our deck. Let's see if we see Boltund here or a way to draw into Boltund. So we've got the Quick Ball and we have Boltund. So this hand is phenomenal. This hand is actually truly extremely good. And we're playing a Welder deck, which we typically like because, of course, we have the Hammers, Swell, and the 4 Marnies. And those are really good cards to play against Welder decks, especially, you know, decks that might be playing greens, like a Green Zard or Green Centiskorch. The Marnies, and they're going to be extremely good. We'll see what we prized, but we're definitely going to start with Boltund. That's not only just our only option, but it's actually our best option, which is totally cool with me. And now we're going to go ahead and see that this is Victini, which is phenomenal for us, actually. Not specifically for the Boltund, but for the rest of the cards in our deck. That's actually a really good matchup because he's, for the most part, not even 2-hit KOing most of the cards in our deck here. The Mewtwo, the Pikarom. He might be playing Mewtwo in his own deck. And we'll see, because a lot of Victini decks are also playing Mewtwo, so that's something that we kind of have to keep in mind. Kind of makes me not want to go the Mewtwo route, just because that kind of allows him to just Welder 3 on and kind of explosively hit us. So it might be best for us to just grab Pikarom this turn. We see another Cherish Ball off the top deck, which is actually really good. So I think what we want to do... it's interesting. It's close. Like, I don't know his deck, right? So I personally don't even know if we're gonna attach to Boltund. I don't know if attaching to Mewtwo is the best play here in case next turn he does have Mewtwo, Welders 3 onto it, and just KOs us, right? But if he Welders, he can't boss, actually, and we have boss in our hand. So I think Mewtwo is actually the correct line. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna check here. So we prized a Dedenne, and we prized a Boltund, which is fine. We got our Swell, which is good. We have 4 Marnies, which is good. I think we're missing 1 basic. No, we have all our basic energies. Prized a Research. And Big Charm. No, we have Big Charm in hand. Interesting. Okay. Well, first of all, I think what we want to do is grab Pikarom, because we're just going to discard it with Quick Ball. And we're going to get that in the discard pile immediately. We're going to grab a Mewtwo. I still think that Mewtwo is the best route here because he can't boss this up. I mean, he actually has Great Catcher in the deck. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe not the best play, but what we can do is attach Big Charm to it. But I think we actually probably want to hold off on that, to be honest with you. Well, we could attach Big Charm. We want to hold Cherish Ball because we don't have a way to draw cards. I'm feeling pretty safe. I don't know if there's an advantage to attaching Big Charm to Mewtwo is kind of the thing that I'm thinking about right now. And I don't know. I think we're just going to pass on it. We might regret that. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head that kind of wants me to attach that Big Charm. Again, you know, I don't specifically know what's in his deck. I don't know exactly what we could be playing. It could be Victini Centiskorch. It could be straight Victini. It could be Victini Mewtwo. So there's a lot of different options here. He just attaches the second energy to the Victini. And we see the Calm here. Way the Volcanion. So good thing that we went second. Both of our decks want to go second for sure. But we'll see exactly what comes out of it here. You could be, again, looking through his deck, kind of getting an idea. So we see the VMAX, so he's probably just going to go ahead and straight up KO the Boltund this turn, which isn't actually that bad for us, though, to be 100% honest with you, because we can just, we can literally just attach to the Mewtwo this turn and full blitz to something. So I'm really not too worried. He's got 3 cards in his hand. Okay, so we see the Heatran there. So definitely probably like a Mewtwo deck also at the same time. Maybe not, though, because he could just be running like a Reshi and a Heatran, things like that. But we don't want to get that. We don't want that to get out of hand. He just Crobatted for a few cards as well. And now he's going to Cherish Ball, probably grabbing a Reshi or maybe Mewtwo. We haven't seen a Welder from him yet either. So that's something to keep in mind. He does have the Mewtwo, which is tough. But we have Boss, actually. So if he benches that, that could be really good for us. It could be extremely, extremely good for us. And he manually attached to Victini, so he's not KOing us this turn. We'll see if he benches that Mewtwo. That could be really bad for him if he does. He's going to Hearth away another Victini VMAX. And he's going to grab 2 Fire Energies. Probably has a Welder in hand. But we want him to bench Mewtwo because we have Boss in hand, right? So we can literally just attach to Mewtwo full blitz, 1-hit KO his Mewtwo while accelerating 3 more energies. Put us in a really good position. But we'll see exactly what he does here. Benches the Reshi. So I don't know if he's going to bench the Mewtwo as well. No, he doesn't. Okay. Probably a good play on his part, to be honest with you. I still am a little bit afraid of that Reshi, so what I might do is boss that thing up and hit into it. Well, we have 2 boss in our hand now, so maybe that is just the correct play. Because this is kind of what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of this Victini, to be 100% honest with you. So I think what I want to do is boss up this Reshi and full blitz into it. But I am going to go ahead and Big Charm myself. We're going to boss up the Reshi. Excuse me. And then we're going to go ahead and Cherish Ball. And we can grab Dedenne. Dedenne's actually a better option than Crobat in this matchup just because of that Victini there. We're not too afraid of it. Now, it'd be nice to draw into like a Stamp or something because, of course, we missed out on Marnie this turn. Okay, so that looks like the only thing we have to full blitz to is going to be this Boltund, because our hand is a little bit dead, to be honest with you. We can just attach Stealthy Hood probably to Dedenne there. We could actually full blitz to ourselves because I think that we're probably pretty safe no matter what, right? There's no way he gets 4 energies on board next turn to 1-hit KO our Mewtwo, and if we full blitz to ourselves, we're kind of threatening the Tag Bolt 5 prize turn next turn, which I think is actually probably smart. Could be kind of sketchy. We wouldn't do that if we didn't have something else to target onto. And that still might not be the best idea, but I actually think it is, to be 100% honest. And it's actually something that I want to do. He has a big hand, though, which is tough for us. And if he probably just has Boss in hand, and he's probably going to KO our Boltund anyway. So maybe benching that wasn't the correct decision. Definitely probably wasn't, to be 100% honest. Yeah, that's fine. Our hand kind of stunk. That's kind of a bad hand for sure. Benching that Boltund was definitely a misplay now that I think about it, just because now he can just switch in Boss and just KO our Boltund. But if he does that, that actually doesn't put us in a terrible position because then, of course, we can draw into Stamp him to 2. And we can actually just Tag Bolt into the Victini, which means that we just need Eldegoss for Boss potentially later in the game to take 6 prize cards. So he goes ahead and air balloons the Victini, gives that thing free retreat. We're kind of, the fact that we hit into this Reshizard kind of means that he's probably not going to invest energies into it, because it is probably going to get KO'd next turn, and we're threatening the Tag Bolt, which is really, really good. We don't have a Great Catcher in our deck, and we probably don't have another way to draw any more cards consistently, rather. At least he does discard the Mewtwo. So the Heatran is kind of a threat to me right now, to be 100% honest with you. Like if we see a Welder, 3 energies in total this turn, which I'm sure he has Welder or he's going to find it. The Heatran's not KOing the Mewtwo, right? So that's something to keep in mind. But I think that we're in a difficult position if he does go into this Heatran this turn. and hits for the 250. I think that that's going to be really difficult for us because then the Victini can KO us. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Koko is also still an option, so we got to keep that in mind. We're probably going to want to discard this energy here. So he is just going to manually attach to the Heatran. He's probably going to Dedenne before he Hearths and finds more energy here. He's going to switch into the Victini. That's fine because it's got free retreat. So, you know, again, kind of acting as a pivot. And he's actually going to boss up the Boltund, which is potentially better for us than whatever could have come previously, I think. But I think what we need to do is hit hammers. So if he KOs this Boltund, that's actually really good for us. You might be like, why is that good? That's good because realistically we can tag bolt. We can get 200 off on the Victini and KO this Reshi for 3 prizes. We can also stamp him to 2 cards. And if we hit a hammer or 2, we should be safe. Like if we hit at least 1 hammer, we're safe from anything kind of getting KO'd unless he has another boss, but he can't Welder and boss in the same turn, right? So that's kind of the thought process. There's a quick ball, which is interesting. So what I'm actually going to do is quick ball. Koko's prized, actually. I should have known that, but I totally blanked on that. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so we're going to Raichu here. Yeah, tough that Koko's prized. That could be really valuable for us right now. How many hammers are we down? None hammers. No hammers. I should have attached Air Balloon to Choo-Choo there. I don't know why I didn't, but that's fine. So now I think what we're going to do is just manually attach to Raichu here. This hammer could be the difference, and we hit hammers, which is super phenomenal. And now I think we always hit it off Victini. That's the correct choice. And now what we can do is we can tag bolt, get damage on this Victini while also KOing this Reshi. And we have boss in our hand to finish off this game here. So no matter what, unless he heals up this Victini, I'm pretty sure we win the game here. Unless... yeah, I don't... Because he can't manually attach boss. He's doing 150. He's not KOing the Dedenne here. We grab Koko, which is nice. He can't Welder and then also boss up one of these things. And if he does Welder, gets 3 on, that's only 5 energies on board. That's not going to be enough to KO our Mewtwo. So him actually hitting... And we didn't even hit Stamp or anything, but I think it's fine because... oh, he's got Cram. Yeah, I forgot Cram wasn't out. He actually just discarded it, though, which is strange because Cram would have just won him the game, I think. So, I don't know. Maybe he's got another Cram. I don't know. Maybe he just forgot. To be honest with you, I don't know. He could have just easily won the game with Cram there, so I don't know what he's doing. I always forget Cramorant, and again, that's why benching Dedenne, I guess, wasn't the best option, even though I said that at the beginning. I should have known that they do run... I should have known that they do run Cramorant. I don't know what this dude's doing, to be honest, because that Cram was the game for him right then. He would have been able to just KO the Dedenne, but... I guess not. So yeah, he can get 5 onto this Heatran. Oh, he's got Great Catcher. Yeah, I forgot. So that is the game. Unfortunately, this guy had a bunch of outs. Not much we could really do there. It is what it is. It is what it is. Not much we could really do. We whiffed Stamp. We whiffed Hammer. I think that I still kind of played correctly that game anyway. At least somewhat correctly. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comment section below. Victini's a tough matchup, though. It definitely is tough with the Cramorants and the Heatran and the Great Catcher. The Great Catcher is really big for him there. And I knew that Heatran would definitely be a problem. But yeah, anyway, guys, that's it. That's the list. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Matty from Chill TCG. Adam Kalamat, man. Great run at Chill Series number 29. Our 29th Chill Series champion beat 450 other people. Definitely better at playing Pikarom than I am, that is for sure. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. I was gone for like a week or so earlier, trying to finish up college, do a lot of things. So, you know, we're getting back into it. We're making more videos, and I really appreciate you guys' support. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe, potentially become a channel member. It's only like $1.99 a month, and you support our community, so that's going to be really good for sure. Yeah, that's it. We're getting out of here. Don't forget to watch the Grand Finals match if you want to see some actual high-level gameplay. And, yeah. I don't got too much else to say. I don't know how to close videos ever. Okay, goodbye. Peace out, guys. Goodbye.